So you think you can beat me by outlawing my thoughts with your rogue politicians and the judges you bought? So you think you can mold me like I'm made out of clay? Oh, you want me to answer? Just got this to say. Take a look into this warrior's eyes. Tell me what you see. Take a look into this warrior's eyes. Oh, that still beats me.
Karl Marx, over 150 years ago, wrote about his goal, or maybe it was his obsession. And he said it was the overthrow of all institutions. Karl Marx wasn't a reformer, somebody who wanted to make a bad situation a little bit better, tinker with the structure a little bit. He was a revolutionary. He wanted to overthrow the entire system in Europe. In fact, he wanted to overthrow the entire Christian, patriarchal, aristocratic order that had developed Europe the way it was. Well, his followers have been laboring for the last century and a half to achieve what Karl Marx dreamed of. Originally, they thought that those goals could be reached by using as their shock troops what Marx called the proletariat, or the working man. So for many years, communists tried to organize the workers. However, by the 1930s, the communist theorists, the Marxists, around a group called the Frankfurt School. They started off at the University of Frankfurt in Germany. After Hitler's rise to power, they moved to the United States almost lock, stock, and barrel. And they had begun to sour on the workers. They were a bit disillusioned by the American working man, because the American working man was not a revolutionary. He didn't want to burn out the factory owner, seize the factories, kill the large farmers, murder businessmen, seize their resources. All the American working man basically wanted was a fair shake. He wanted the chance to enter the middle class. He wanted a chance for an education for his children. And through the work of the trade union movement and others, and political changes that came over the years, the American working man largely gained what he wanted. So he was not a reliable ally or as a reliable revolutionary. And as early as the 1920s, Marxist theoreticians decided that they would use racial politics. In fact, it was Trotsky who said that perhaps the American Negro could be used as the shock troops for revolution, to do what the workers had not done. More recently, the idea occurred to people in the Frankfurt School, who were the ones who lay behind radical feminism, that gender politics could be used to overthrow the existing order. So you would have racial minorities organized, blacks particularly in the United States, now more recently Hispanics, and gender politics. That would be radical feminism and the homosexual agenda to attack the existing order. So racial and gender revolution, which is something that is really called cultural communism. And that brings me to a very unusual character, Barack Hussein Obama. Very well situated now, strongly promoted by big money, shady international financiers like George Soros, a man who has broken Asiatic currencies with his money speculation, are promoting the candidacy of Barack Hussein Obama. Well, what I see going on here is an inversion of three of the basic pillars that built the United States. The United States was built, first of all, as a European country. The political institutions, going all the way back to ancient Greece, came from Europe, the Republic. The laws are basically British common law. The culture, the music of the United States is essentially European. Well, Barack Hussein Obama is, to be kind about it, not European in origin, is he? His father was a Kenyan chief. The United States was built as a Christian country. Not a denominational country, but a Christian country. The United States proclaims itself as one nation under God. The founding fathers were all Christians. The only difference between them and many European countries is that they did not have an established state religion. But the United States and its people are Christian. Now, Barack Hussein Obama is, I believe, a crypto-Muslim. He was born a Muslim. His father was a Muslim. After the relationship between his white mother and the Kenyan chief fell apart, the mother went to Indonesia, was involved with another man who was a radical Muslim, and Barack Hussein Obama was raised as a Muslim at least until he was 12 years old. His name, Hussein, is Hussein, one of the martyrs of the Muslim religion. His first name, Barack, is not an African name, but is an Arabic name that means blessed. And it's interesting that although he claims to be a Christian, Obama belongs to a very anti-white Christian church in Chicago. Obama has actually never changed his name. You know, Hussein is a Muslim name. If he really were not a Muslim anymore, why not change the Hussein to Harry or Henry or just H? But regardless, Barack Hussein Obama represents an inversion of two of the basic pillars that built the United States. Number one, the European. Number two, Christian. And I believe that his candidacy is being promoted by big money that are trying to brain tenderize the American public into accepting new symbols. Not the symbols that represent the pillars that built the United States, but symbols of a new order that these people are trying to impose on the United States. The United States, like Canada, is being changed demographically from the top. The big boys, and maybe girls at the top, don't want a European society anymore. They don't want a Christian society, and they don't want a patriarchal society. They want a third world majority, anti-Christian, and feminist. That's the new order. And as such, Barack Hussein Obama is in many ways the Tiger Woods of the new order. He certainly doesn't come from a European background, and it's highly arguable that he doesn't come from a Christian background. And yet, the mass media, as part of its tenderizing program, is making a lot of Americans believe, well, he's quite acceptable. Just as they're making another person who also represents an inversion of one of the basic pillars of the United States, making her acceptable. And I'm thinking here of Hillary Rodham Clinton, who at the time of this broadcast in September of 2007 appears to be leading in the sweepstakes for the nomination for president of the Democratic Party. Hillary Rodham Clinton, of course, is a hard-bitten, dyed-in-the-wool feminist. Now, feminism is an inversion of the patriarchal family, which was one of the founding pillars of the United States. If you're concerned about these issues, I urge you to consider gaining more information and joining the Council of Conservative Citizens. You can go on the website at www.cocc.org or write for more information to the Council of Conservative Citizens, P.O. Box 221683, St. Louis, Missouri 63122. This is Paul Fromm. I'm the Midnight Man. You can catch me any night at midnight Eastern Time on Stormfront Radio, available over the internet at www.stormfront.com.